Past 9, we're discussing the emotional impact of going bald today. It's something that's being touched upon in The Archers at the moment. If you listen to the Radio 4 soap The Archers, 21-year-old Johnny is worried about his hair loss. Here's how it's being portrayed on BBC Radio 4.
Can't even look in the mirror. I hate it. You don't look any different. Your hair looks fine, honestly. No, it doesn't. Don't lie to me. Okay, maybe it's not exactly what it used to be, but, it's really not as bad as you think. It's all I think about. All the time. This isn't like you. You've never been, one to get hung up on stuff like that. Freddie, for the past couple of months, every morning when I wake up, I check my pillow. And every single morning there are more hairs. It's like this ticking clock just counting down the days until I'm completely bald. And I know that's not how I used to be, but it's how I am now, and all I want is to stop time because I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, poor Johnny. He said he felt it made him seem like he was 21 going on 45. Hair loss affects everybody. We all lose hair every day, hundreds of hairs every day, but we're talking specifically about male baldness this morning. And you can go bald at any time. That's premature balding that you're hearing in The Archers, and it's something I've been discussing with Spencer Stevenson. Like Johnny, Spencer started to lose his hair at just 21. Now, he has since spent over £30,000 on treatments and transplants. Now, he earns a living as an international hair health mentor, offering advice to others. Well, he spoke to me about the impact his hair loss had on him.
The psychological impact is traumatic. It's a cocktail of emotion that come into play because hair gives you your identity and it gives you your self-confidence and your self-worth. Especially at a young age, to lose your hair, there's already a number of issues that you're dealing with and obstacles that you're combating. Never mind dealing with hair loss. You're trying to find your way in the world, and hair loss can have a profound effect on your personal well-being and mental health. I had, my own issues with it. I became very isolated. I was highly insecure as a result of it. And that's why I felt it was so vital for me to essentially pay it forward and enable people to know that it's okay to be experiencing hair loss and there are solutions and potentially options available. I didn't have the internet. I sound really old here. I'm only 44. Now there are reliable resources. Like we run a radio show called The Bald Truth, which enables people to simply just know you're not alone. Spencer Coburn, the founder of the International Alliance of Hair Restoration Surgery, he's well known for saying it's a cancer of the spirit. And I agree with him. It really can dampen and really have a profound effect on an individual.
Cancer of the spirit. Wow. And just hearing you talk so passionately, I can tell that you want to help other men, because if a woman loses her hair, whether that's through cancer treatment, alopecia, stress, it's something that people desperately want to help them, there's amazing people who make wigs and all sorts. Men, it's just kind of thought, oh, well, it's part and parcel of being a bloke that you're going to go bald. People make jokes about bald guys all the time.
Oh, they do. I mean, and they're throwaway comments, and they're paralyzing. I experienced it. I grew up in a very alpha male environment. I played rugby internationally, and I started to lose my hair, and people would just jib and jibe. Oh, you're losing your hair. You're losing it at the front. And I actually got called Grant Mitchell when I shaved my hair off, which is a throwaway comment to the individual, but to me had a detrimental effect on my own well-being when the likes of Wayne Rooney came out and talked so openly and said it's okay to do something. He has actually, in my opinion, broke down so many stigmas and broke them down overnight to make it possible for people, for men especially, to talk about it openly. And he had a surgery at the Harley Street Hair Clinic, which then enabled people to know that there were options, but get educated. There'll always be a stigma around hair loss. There'll always be the jibs and the jibes. But I think it's much more a much more of a healthier playing field now for men if they are losing their hair.
High-profile cases of men maybe going balder earlier. Actor Jude Law, the princes, Prince William, Prince Harry, and the media's extra cruel to those in the spotlight, of course. Others who rock the bald look, like The Rock or Jason Statham. What would you say to anyone listening who's going through this, whether they're young or older? What would your advice be?
My advice to them would be initially, don't panic. Do not, whatever you do, rush in. What you're experiencing is normal. People go through it, despite the fact you feel isolated and that, nobody understands how you're feeling because it is such a bitter blow to your self-confidence and your self-esteem and those cocktail of emotions that are hard to process. So my advice is do not rush in. Do your research, okay? Step back from it. Try, remove the vulnerability, the desperation, the rushing in quick. Surgery is a last resort. There are proven treatments that you can purchase and speak to your GP. There are prescription medications. There are topicals. There are shampoos, Grow MD shampoo, minoxidil, finasteride. These products are go-to products, and it's important that people that are experiencing hair loss, who have a knee-jerk reaction that it is out of their control and they panic, my advice to them is just press pause and do not rush in and try and educate yourself.
Are you, Spencer, are you happy with the way you look now?
Absolutely. I mean, my situation is different to most. I had a long journey. I had to get repaired. I had to continue to maintain and critique. I'm very happy. The journey that I have been on, I would do differently if I had my time again, and that's why I set up my resources to help people and protect people from making the same mistakes I made. I'm not saying that everybody's going to have the full, thick head of hair that I sport now, but everybody's different, and there are potentially options available to you if you want to do something about it. And my advice as well, just to surmise, is, you know what? It's okay to lose your hair. It's okay to be, to shave it all off. And try that. Because if you shave all your hair off and you try and go with it and just embrace it, you are essentially going to save yourself a great deal of time, emotion, and money on the pursuit of trying to restore your hair. Now, that's coming from somebody that works in the hair restoring industry. I'm out there to give people perspective. What people have to try and understand is that it is okay to lose your hair. I just struggled with it, and people do struggle with it.
Spencer Stevenson chatting there with some brilliant advice. He's now a leading British hair health expert, but speaking very honestly about his own experiences and the thousands of pounds he spent on treatment. He started going bald at the age of 21. He described it as a cancer of the spirit, and he said the jibes were paralysing. So, I'm going to think twice about making jokes to men who are losing their hair. My